All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham Kwakadash. Yahawah being the true name of the Heavenly Father, bahasham in the name, Yahawashi, our Lord and Savior, which the world ignorantly call Jesus. All right, double honors to the elder apostles, the elders, GMS. All right, like-minded brothers. Peace, salutations, blessings to all the Akim, laboring is true. Shalom, hopeful elect. Let's see here. We get in. So I titled the lesson, For unto you, paradise. For unto you is paradise opened. All right. So a little Williams be edifying lesson through the Spirit. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 52. All right. It says, For unto you is paradise opened. Salakia. Let me check this real quick. Is paradise. All right. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start at 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. All right, and we are in the latter time. All right, we understand the telltale signs, of the end of Esau's age. All right, the beginning of the world to come, which is the kingdom. Starting with Yahawashi and the rest of the elect of Israel. All right. 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Okay, so we, Israel as a whole, we're all in the world carnally, but the hopeful elect are detaching mentally, spiritually from this world. All right, so we're dwelling, in the heavens. We are, spiritually minded. All right, seeking the kingdom. What is to come rather than that which is present. So again, 2nd Ezra chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter times shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. All right, and that's the 2/3, those whom just go in the ways of the world, the ways of the oppressor, Esau, Edom, of those who don't really have they don't care to seek the Most High, seek Yahawashi. All right. It says verse 51, but understand thou for thyself. All right. So all the sincere Akim, Akwatim, who call into this truth, we understand it for for ourselves. What say what was that precept? Seek Slack. Let me try to get this real quick. Yeah, trembling. Yeah, Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. So at the end of the day, everybody got to work at their own salvation. All right, though, brothers, we try to edify, the flock, whatever it may be. All right, but in the process, we are working our own salvation with fear and trembling. All right, what's that? In 2 Timothy chapter 3, is it? Let me see. 2 Timothy. Maybe chapter 4. Salah, you bear with me just for a minute. Let me try to find this precept. First Timothy chapter 4, verse 16. Take heed unto thyself. All right, again, it starts with, building that house within you. All right, first and foremost. So take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continuing them. All right, and once we, be returned to, bahasham Yahawashi, all right, and we're to continue in this. Continue in them, for in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. All right, so, brothers, the spirit and power bahasham Yahawashi, all right, learning from, the elder apostles, the elders, a lot of my brothers, we are, sounding the blowing the trumpet, says, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. All right, so back to Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such be like thee. All right, like thee. Though we once was in the was all, dead bones, all right, without that breath at one point in time, but coming into this truth, through Spirit Power Yahawashi, we have been, woken up, all right. That breath of life is upon us, okay, and we try to, blow the trumpet, preach this word, all right, but not everybody's gonna hearken unto it, and it's only for the like-minded, Let's see real quick. Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 51. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such be like thee. So you go to 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. It says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. All right, so we just bid the those who have that spiritual eye, if it be Lord's will, call them into the marriage, bid them to the marriage, like the parables say. All right, we're not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. You sit there all day long and try to persuade an unbeliever or somebody who's set in their beliefs where it may be, and they ain't gonna get it. The spirit Yahawashi not dealing with them. All right, and maybe they get it a certain amount, but then they got little hang-ups here and there, But at the end of the day, it is what it is. The Lord calls into this thing, and if this word, if this truth, that's being preached, starting with the elder apostles on down like my brothers under the umbrella of GMS, if this word resonate with your spirit, then hey, you want to say Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5, roughly paraphrasing, trust in the Lord Yahawah, trust in the Lord Yahawah, and lean on the own understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he'll direct your paths. All right, so 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? All right, man, that's a heavy precept, heavy script right there, because we know that the whole world, lieth in wickedness and in darkness. All right, and in these latter times, all right, these said times to be, how much how much more you gotta really take this into consideration. All right. Again, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion have light with darkness? So if you're in trying to be in the spirit, again, we are in this world, we're on this wicked flesh, and hey, it's a constant fight, it's a constant battle. All right. We just gotta try to defeat that flesh. All right. Because at the end of the day, this is for the elect. That's what Lord will be a part of it. Let's see. I was gonna get Salakia. I had another one, but I lost it. Let Spirit bring it back. I think this one's a second Ezra chapter 9. Second Ezra chapter 9. I'll start verse 9. All right, and this is going, referring to the 2/3, those whom are, in the stead of, unbelief. All right, because at the end of the day, if you really truly believe in Yahawashi, you're gonna, you're gonna, walk accordingly. All right, again, we understand that, we're not saved by the law. All right, but doing this, listening to, the word, all right, meditating on these scriptures, being spiritually minded, all right, that, hey, that's life. Let's say Romans 8 verse 6, to be spiritually minded is life and so like, let me get to be spiritually minded is life and peace, Romans 8 verse 6 says, for to be carnally minded is death. All right, so if you had that worldly mindset, all right, if you're still out in the world in the times we in now, all right, that's death, man. If you falling after Esau, Edom, you worry about your job, you trusting in the oppressor, you run down to Egypt for help. Hey man, leading to death. All right, you worried about being able to go go to a football game, a basketball game. You want to go to you know, like what is on the news, a Travis Scott concert. Hey, that's a ways of death, you know. All right, it says, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. All right, carnal mind, death. Spiritually minded, life and peace. All right. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 9. Then should they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and that have cast them away despitefully, shall dwell in torments. All right, again, some of the elder apostles on down, brothers been pushing this gospel, preaching the kingdom, for a minute. All right, I'm fairly new to truth, but it's out there. All right, and at the end of the day, Yahawashi, through the spirit and power of Yahawashi, it's gonna reach, the elect. The elect are gonna be activated. All right, gonna be awoke. Okay, and those whom it ain't meant for, hey, that they ain't gonna get it. It says, then should they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully should dwell in torments. Okay, so we understand we come into a time like Jacob's trouble, all right, beginning of sorrows, death in mass numbers, all right, plagues, famines, man, it's what nothing but evil times. All right. St. Ezra 9 verse 10, for such in their life have received benefits and have not known me. Everything in this life, is a benefit. All right, and there's many, that receive a lot of benefits. All right, but at the end of the day, that they're full of pride, they don't give they don't give thanks, to Yahawashi. Neither do they seek him. All right, if you're thankful for, your life, if you're thankful for, anything, like right now, the best gift is just wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And it's through the spirit power of Yahawashi. All right, so again, St. Ezra 9, verse 10, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. It says, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, all right, that door of repentance, as it's going to go into, and when as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Okay, to really truly understand this truth, you got to have, teachers, for one, all right, whom the Spirit of the Lord is dealing with, all right, and you have to be called into it, all right, because you got if the Spirit ain't dealing with you, to be able to you ain't even gonna be able to understand it, all right, and if you can't understand it, then you're gonna despise it. All right, what it says, verse 12, it says, the same must know it after death by pain. Hey, they ain't gonna get it. All right, until the death by pain, that second death, referring to, destruction of America, Babylon the Great, returning to Yahawashi. All right, verse 13, and therefore be not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. All right, so again, we're not to put most of our time we have, like I said, be not unequally yoked to unbelievers. We're supposed to feed the sheep. Those whom Lord bless with eyes to see. and to perceive, and ears to hear and to understand. All right. So back to 2 Ezra chapter 8, verse 52. It says, for unto you is paradise opened. So again, we've been called to this thing. All right, through the Spirit of Yahawashi. All right, there's how many different, religions, doctrines, even other camps, whatever it may be. All right, but some reason, not just some reason, through the Spirit of Yahawashi, we all end up here. All right, and that's for a reason. It's just for unto you paradise is open. All right, and Lord willing, we endure until the end. Lord willing, we be a part of that hopeful number. It says the tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. All right, the kingdom to come. It says plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded. All right, that city referring to the kingdom, the kingdom to come. And rest is allowed. Yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. Verse 53, the root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption fled into hell to be forgotten. All right, and that's, Lord willing, be hard of that hopeful number. All right, and we're gonna get that new bodies. All right, that new heart, that new mind. Verse 54 says, sorrows are past, and in the end is shewed the treasure of immortality. All right, you got, man, that's what's crazy. I just show you, what Hebrews 10:31, how's it go? To fall into the hands of living power is a fearful thing, to fall into the hands of living power. All right, roughly paraphrasing, you got, so-called leaders of Israel, these other camp, that one camp, and they, man, just bugged out, talking about people, talking about how, brothers be wasting their life away waiting on return, Yahawashi, man, you think about it, the treasure of immortality, all right, to to see the earth ruled in righteousness, all right, to really, see and to be able to enjoy, the how it's supposed to be, all right, for sorrows to be past, man. What are you talking about? That's the only thing that sounds good. That's the only thing that is good. That's Yahawashi. You know what I mean? Like, nothing in this world is good. Everything is vanity. All right? No matter what it is, no matter what situation you're in. All right? Man. All right, verse 55 said, I'll get 54 again. Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. All right, going into, the 2/3, that multitude, the ungodly. All right, we ain't going to ask questions. We ain't going to be concerned. All right, Lord willing, we be a part of, the elect. All right. Verse 56, for when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High. All right. Thought scorn of his law and forsook his ways. All right. They despised the Most High. Hey, they ain't worried about the laws, you know. That's why a lot of so-called, you got a lot of so-called Christians, because, that plantation Christianity, they bugged out, worshiping the sun god, calling on calling on, Jesus after the slave ship, you know what I mean? And they say all the laws are done away with. All right. It's just that prosperity doctrine, that feel good doctrine. And at the end of the day, it's all about them dollar bills, Man. But again, we ain't worried about, them paper money. We ain't worried about, anything, in this current realm, this carnal realm right now. This age, Esau's reign. Okay, hey, man, we're looking forward to what is to come. All right, it says let's see. All right, so I'm gonna drop on down to well, I'll read on through verse 57. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteousness and said in their heart, there is no God, there is no power. Yeah, and that knowing they must die. They denied, Yahawah. They deny Yahawashi. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, all right, the things that are written aforetime for our learning, for our knowledge, roughly paraphrasing. So thirst and pain are prepared for them. All right. Lil Will, we endure till the end. Lil Will will be part of that hopeful number. Hey, we're gonna be all right. We're better than all right. We don't, let's say, I ain't seen nor thought of what Yahawashi had in store for those who love him. Roughly paraphrasing. It says, for it was not his will that men should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them. All right, man. Whew. And Esau, Edom, hey, the devil on earth, man. These devils, man. And they causing, and those who follow after the ways of the wicked, the ways of the heathen, man. And were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. All right. And we about to see judgment, like brother say, reign supreme in the earth. All right. All the way up until, that final judgment. Says these things have I not showed unto all men. Again, this is not, the Lord Yahawashi has not showed, the mysteries of the scriptures unto all men, but unto thee and the few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Lord, Yahawashi, now hast thou shown me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. And Ezra, said, but at what time thou hast not showed me. All right, so as for the exact, time, hey, let's say, come like a thief in the night. All right, we got, signs to look to to be able to discern the times. Okay, and said measures, what it say, measure thou the time diligently. Was that I think that's 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Yeah, 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. So he answered me and said, measure thou the time diligently itself. And when thou seest part of signs past, which I told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, and we are seeing those signs. All right, in verse 3, I'm going to that. Therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, all right, you got earthquakes, happening at an alarming rate, and what's going on throughout the earth? Uproars of the people. Why? Because these devils, man. And it's just the start of it. Revelation 12, verse 12. I therefore rejoice, all right, ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. I being that, in that spiritual mindset, being called as true, all right, having this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. Hey, we're to rejoice, okay? Because again, we don't like it here. We don't like this. We content. We blessed to have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and blessed, to be able to, continue. Lord willing, we endure until the end, but we're rejoicing, that, hey, we at the end, man. It's therefore rejoice, ye heavens, ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, a destruction. Man, it says, for the devil is come down unto you. Hey, and we see it. We see how, the powers that be, the wicked, Esau, Edom, all right, coming down, man. Having great wrath because he knows he have but a short time. Hey, Esau, these devils, they know what time it is. All right, they know that time is short. That's why they're moving the way they is. Proverbs 21, verse 1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord Yahawah. All right. So, Yahawashi put it in their mind to move the way they're moving. It says, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will. All right. Let's see here. What was I going to get? Slovakia. Because you know it. Oh yeah, okay. The water Yahawashi outside. What's in the crocodiles? James chapter 2. Chapter 2, verse 19. It says, thou believest that there is one God, one power, thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. Hey, you know what I mean? And the Lord Yahawashi put it in their minds, everything, from pushing this, this serpent juice, to the Revelation 13:16, to the Charagma, all they're gonna keep on till the World War III kick off in the land of Jehoshaphat, all the way up into all these other countries, turning on Babylon the Great, America, spiritual side Egypt, and send them ICBMs over here. All right. And these devils, they they know it's coming because they build them underground bunkers. They've been going out into space. They're gonna try to hide. They're gonna try to hey, they gonna, what it is, America Babylon Great. They got America Babylon Great. Most of the Israelites, a lot of Israelites over here in America Babylon the Great, and what does it say? Brother Great. Some Revelations. Revelation chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. All right. I think that 3 days and a half is referring to the 350 years, all right, that Israel was in bondage, slavery over here in the Americas. All right. 1600s to 1960s to 70s. All right, when starting with Elder Arbor Bivens. All right. It says spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. All right, so they stood upon their feet. Okay, because again, we was all in the congregation of the dead. All right. It says, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right, so hey, the wicked, the Elites, Amalek, the bankers. Hey man, they know what time it is. Let me see here. I'll get Revelation chapter 11 verse 8. It says, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city. Great city referring to America Babylon the Great, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. All right, Sodom, because what these devils push, that Sodom, sodomite stuff, the alphabets, and what Egypt for savery. It say Egypt is a Greek word for bondage. I think it says Matazariel in the Paleo Hebrew. All right. It says, where also our Lord was crucified. How is Yahawashi crucified? Through the whitewashing of the images. All right. The image of Caesar Borgia. All right, and then that verse 11, it says, and after three days and a half, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. All right, so, hey, let's see, I'll get another one. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14, it says, wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and rise from the dead. And this isn't talking about a literal sense, it's talking about a spiritual sense, okay? Because again, before coming into this truth, we was all in that dead state, spiritually dead. All right, for the most part. Again, maybe we had like say what's that? I can't think of that, but I think it's Romans, a zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Let me get it. Romans chapter 10 verse 2 says, for I bear them record that they have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. Okay. Verse 3 says, for they, being ignorant of the Most High's righteousness, all right, because, again, growing up, if you was a, Christian or whatever, hey, they going off, they're misleading, intentionally. Okay, but there was a set period of time, like I said, at 350 years, all right, where, the Lord withdrew his spirit, all right, from Israel. So, and going about to establish their own righteousness, have not submitted themselves unto the righteousness of the Most High. But even to this day, all right, the words are going out. Be Lord will, you be called into this, this truth. But you got many whom, got that spirit of slumber, and hey, that's what plantation Christianity teach you, more or less to have that mindset law's done away with, just all you got to do is just, say, oh, I, give my heart to, so-called Jesus, and that's it. That sounds good, but that's, that's going about to establish their own righteousness. You're not fully submitting, into Yahawashi. All right. And again, we're all in this grace period. We're on this earth for however many years. All that's set before us, in this current time we're in, is pure and utter folly, wickedness. So, I mean, me myself here 30 years, it's just I never come around to the truth. I never, done this or that. At the end of the day, I had 30 plus years on this earth, full of folly, full of wickedness, never, man. That's why I say those whom gonna be in a pitiful case. All right. Let's see, what was I'll get this one, I'll move on. This is Proverbs 21 verse 16. The men that want dead. Okay. All right, so let's go to Joel chapter 3 verse 2. Joel chapter 3 verse 2. All right, it's going into World War III. All right. So I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. I know that word Jehoshaphat, if I'm mistaken, it's going to the Lord's Slack, I can't think right now. Plead a judgment, place a judgment, something like that. Slack, if I got it right. But it said into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is going to take place over in the Middle East. So they will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel. So, hey, Lord, he about to stir up all these countries, all these nations, all right, to a point that, wars gonna kick off in the land of Jehoshaphat in the Middle East. All right, it's the start of World War III. All right, you had the Karama, the MOTB, already implicated at this time. And like brothers say, we see how they're pushing this the serpent juice out, trying to hit everybody on the whole earth. 100%, they're trying to but that's because they're gonna work, they wanna work out the issues. So when it comes to what they really want to push, which is that Karama, all right, they gonna they got in their mindset it's gonna be smooth sailing, but we know, referring to Job chapter 20 verse 23, when these devils about to fill his belly, the Lord gonna rain that wrath upon him, the ICBM missiles. It says, whom they have and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right. Drop on down to verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Okay, so we seeing let's say rumors of war, we're seeing rumors of war. Was that Matthew 24? In Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. Let's see. Let me get that. Yeah, Matthew 24, verse 7 says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Let's look at verse 6. Matthew 24, verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay. And hey, what are we hearing? All right, what's China doing right now? Building a mock warship. That way they can hit it with some missiles and see what happens. They're preparing. You know what I mean? And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. All right, hey, we got this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. All right, little will we endure to the end. Little will be part of hopeful elect. So, hey, we're gonna trust Yahawashi. All right, we ain't gonna be troubled. And we gotta have faith. We'll say all unfaithful should die in their unfaithfulness. So for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, so hey, Verse 7, for nation rising against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines. We've seen these famines start, pestilences, earthquakes in diverse places. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, so we coming to the beginning of sorrows. It's like saying Jacob's trouble. Let's get that real quick. Is that Jeremiah? Jeremiah chapter 30, I'll start verse 6. It says, ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned to paleness. Hey, so, man, that just show you, what is to come. So that last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. What's that precept? Let's see. Try to find this. I think it's the second Ezra's. Ezra's. Let me see. Slocky. Oh no! Wait. Hold on. Let me see. Slocky. Huh? Yeah, Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. All right, it says, for then, Yahawashi said, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. All right, so it's going to be times like it never was. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. So it's going to be the worst. Hey, you think about, like, was it the siege of Jerusalem? Was it 70 AD? You think about times like that, where, they're eating their babies and eating each other. Man, just all the horrific times. And to think the times to come, it's going to be, it's going to trump all those. It's going to be worse than all those. All right, so again, we're going to have that hedge, from on high, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And, man, faith. It says, not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. All right, it said, verse 22, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. All right, so hey, if you want for, Yahawashi shot shorten the days, hey, well, Esau, these devils, they kill everything, everyone. All right, it says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right. So again, we are we have this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. All right, so like it say, for second Ezra chapter 8 verse 32, for unto you is paradise opened. All right, man, whew. You have to be really, because we understand, the recompense for those who take that karama. All right, and we're gonna wait and see, what's gonna happen to all these, who trust in, Esau, Edom, and take that serpent juice. And we're gonna wait and see what, man. Hey, but things about to get really bad out here, and now's the time to really focus, in on, what is profitable, all right, for the times to come. So I'm gonna get Isaiah 33 verse 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right, wisdom and knowledge. And strength to salvation, the fear of the Lord, the fear of Yahawah is his treasure. Okay. So I think that pretty much it. With that, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahawah, bahasham Hashah, bahasham Kwakadash. Call me Asha'ah Ba DTA soon. Shalom.